USMC. Starring Jim Neighbors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
Excuse me.
Well, Mistress Mary, how did your garden grow today?
Hey, Sergeant Carter, Corporal Boyle. Well, the garden's coming along just fine. See those little leaves there? Radishes. And do you know what? In about 3 weeks, they'll be on our mess hall table, ready to eat. Think of that. Little leaves, and one day real soon, there'll be a little red crunchy feller.
Wonderful. Pyle, you're a Marine right now, not a farmer. What should you be doing right this minute instead of standing around here waiting for a radish to be born?
Well, nothing, Sergeant. I finished all my chores back at the barracks.
Yeah?
Absolutely. You remember that's the reason I got permission to have this here garden in the first place. Long as I wouldn't let it interfere with my Marine work. And I hadn't let it interfere with my Marine work, you can be sure of that.
You better not, Pyle. Let's go, Boyle.
Hey, Sergeant Carter, look here at my collards. They're already up out of the ground. Did you ever taste collards? Some people call them tree cabbage. They're the best vegetable you ever tasted, especially if you cook them with a little ham hock.
How about that? Come on.
Hey, Sergeant, look over here at my watermelons. Some of them are as big as my fist in less than 2 weeks. That's 'cause I raised them up on the mound and treated them with some special fertilizer. McAvoy supernitrate's the best. Grandpa Pyle says it gets to the roots faster than anything else will.
Well, what do you know? It gets right to them, huh?
That's right. McAvoy supernitrate. It's sold in all the better feed stores.
Yeah? And what have they got to put over yourself so I can get to you?
Huh?
Pyle, permission or no permission, you get back to the barracks, like right now. We got an inspection in 10 minutes. Move it, move it!
Right, Sergeant.
Radishes, watermelons, brother.
Well, why does it bug you?
It just does. A garden on a Marine base, did you ever hear of that? What kind of job is that for a Marine, huh?
Well, he says it's not interfering with his duties.
You want to bet? Besides, I've seen some of Pyle's garden work, and I don't like it.
Huh? What garden work?
That pumpkin he's got for a head, I don't like it. Not bad, Matthews, not bad. Watch them corners. Okay, Farmer Brown, let's see how well prepared you are. All right, Pyle, what is this? Some kind of joke? What's that stuff you got in there?
Summer squash and chard. The chard's the one with the little curly legs.
Get it out, Pyle, get it out.
Well, I can't, Sergeant.
You can't? Did I hear you right? You can't?
On account of their heat loving.
They're what?
That's right. They need warmth and shelter just like they was a little baby. Else they'll die. Just one night of frost will do it. Honest, Sergeant, they'll die.
Really? Well, we all have to go sometime.
Please don't ask me to take them out, Sergeant.
Pyle.
You wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you, if they died?
Don't worry about it, Pyle. I'll see that your squash gets a decent burial.
Summer squash, there's a difference. You see, you can tell the difference by the leaves.
Knock it off. Just get it out of here.
Well, yes, Sergeant. And I'm sorry, I don't mean for my garden to upset you like it seems to.
I suppose you got a horse and plow in here. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? All right, Pyle, that does it. If you're gonna act like a knucklehead, then I'm gonna treat you like a knucklehead. No, check that, like 2 knuckleheads. First, get that junk out of your footlocker, but fast.
But, Sergeant...
Out! Hut!
As you were.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, Sergeant. Where are you taking those?
Well, out, sir.
Out? Where?
Just out, sir, anywhere.
Don't do that.
Sir?
That's summer squash and chard in there, isn't it?
That's what it is, all right, sir.
Well, you set summer squash out on the kind of nights we've been having, and they wouldn't stand a chance.
Sir?
Well, they'd die, every one of them.
That's what I told the sergeant. Those were my exact words, wasn't it, Sergeant?
How's your garden coming along?
Well, the watermelons and the radishes are doing real fine. I think it's that fertilizer I'm using. McAvoy supernitrate. Oh, it's a marvel.
Good. By the way, Pyle, this is Captain Shamley, our base public information officer.
Sir?
Pyle,
He heard about your garden and wanted to take a look at it so he can send a photographer down from the local paper. You know, tough Marine cultivates garden in spare time. Captain Shamley thought it might make a good human interest story.
Well, yes, sir. I'd be glad to. It's right out here in the back, right this way. My, local newspaper.
Might even get you a national release on it. You never know.
Carry on.
Well, what do you say to that?
I say, don't put your summer squash out and always use McAvoy supernitrate.
Where's Pyle? Gardening?
Right.
A farmer I got on my hands. Can you believe it? Not a Marine, a farmer.
Vince, it's with the Colonel's blessings. Relax. The Colonel's a gardener himself.
Yeah, but Pyle? Pyle of all people? Pyle?
What do you think? You think he'll really grow anything?
Sure he will. I can just see what a meathead like Pyle will grow. Like a circular carrot. Or maybe a potato with no eyes, just noses.
You can't tell. He sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Sure. Just wait.
You mean you think nothing will come up the way he expects it to, huh?
I'll bet on it. You give Pyle a watermelon seed, and I'll lay you 10 to 1. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
Huh?
What you just said about nothing coming up the way Pyle expected it to just gave me a brainstorm.
What do you mean?
Sure. It's natural. Hey, how would you like to play a trick on Pyle, huh?
Like what, for instance?
You'll see. All you gotta do is go down to the market and get the biggest watermelon you can find. One with a stem.
Stem?
Right. And last but not least, get a big bottle of vodka and bring it back.
Vodka. I think I can understand the watermelon, but what's the vodka for?
Here, get it. You'll see. There we go. Just like the good old days. It's called plugging a watermelon.
So that's how it's done.
The cheapest party a guy could throw. 2 bits for the melon, a couple of bucks for the booze. Presto. Instant refreshments. Tastes wild, just wild.
I've heard of a Bloody Mary, I've heard of a screwdriver. But vodka and watermelon? What do they call that?
Huh? It's the all-purpose drink.
What?
You can eat it, drink it, wash your face in it, and get smashed all at the same time.
That's beautiful, Vince, beautiful.
Yeah. Now, see how the plug fits back nice and neat? You can't even tell where it's been cut out.
Hey, you're right, I can't.
Now, we just set this bomb in Pyle's watermelon patch and wait.
Listen, Vince, I think it's a funny gag, all right, but I'm not sure I get the point. What are you going to accomplish with it?
What am I going to accomplish? I'm going to accomplish the end of Pyle's gardening, that's what.
Yeah?
Yeah. He just gets a taste of a watermelon that he grew. He wakes up drunk. Pyle's never been drunk before. He wonders what hit him. And I tell him he's been poisoned. I point out that's the risk you run when you grow anything in this here soil around here. Presto, end of gardening.
Well, aren't you going to a lot of trouble? Why don't you just make him give up the garden?
Why? He's liable to complain to the colonel. Believe me, I'm doing this for his own good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Come on. It's time to take baby home to roost.
Golly. Sergeant Carter! Sergeant Carter!
Here he comes.
Right on schedule. Come on, look busy. Like you don't know from nothing.
Wait till you see, Sergeant, wait till you see.
Huh? What's up? Wait till I see what?
Just look at that.
Where did you get that? From the mess hall?
No, I found it out in my garden this morning. It was growing.
You're kidding.
No, I found it in my melon patch just now.
That thing grew in your garden? Boy, look at that.
Oh, boy, Pyle, you really must have a green thumb.
A green thumb, a green arm all the way up to the shoulder.
It's just one thing I can't figure out is how it grew so fast. All the other melons out there on the vine are just about that big.
And practically overnight, too.
It don't make no sense at all.
Wait a minute. I know what it is.
You do?
Sure, that Macintosh stuff.
Huh?
You know, that super-duper fertilizer you've been using.
McAvoy Super Nitrite?
That's it. I'll bet you instead of spreading out, it concentrated all in one place so that only one melon got all the vitamins.
Gosh, Sergeant, I don't know.
Sounds logical to me.
Of course it's logical. Let's face it, Pyle, nobody is perfect when it comes to spreading fertilizer. Not even a natural-born farmer like yourself is perfect every time out, right?
No, sir, I guess not.
And this melon here proves it.
So there you are. The only thing that really matters is that you've grown yourself a prize-winning watermelon. How about that?
Well, thank you, Sergeant. And that's just the way I want it to be. I want you to be the first to know about anything I do, good or bad.
Good. Yes, sir, Pyle. It looks like you're going to have yourself some mighty fine watermelon eating there. So take it and enjoy yourself.
Sergeant, I want you to have the watermelon.
Hmm?
On account it's the only way I can show my appreciation for you being so cooperative and letting me have the garden in the first place.
Oh, no, Pyle. I couldn't do that. This is your melon. You grew it. It wouldn't be right for me to even take one bite of it. And that goes for Boyle, too. And the entire platoon, in fact. So you take it.
But, Sergeant...
The satisfaction is all yours, Pyle. Every bit of it. Or should I say, every bite of it.
But I'd feel a whole lot better if you had it.
No, Pyle, I wouldn't think of it.
Well, please take it.
No.
Please.
Pyle, I want you to take this watermelon and eat every bite of it yourself. And that's an order. I mean, well, it's nice of you to offer, but, well, right is right. Here, take it and eat it in good health, Pyle. Cheers. I mean, enjoy it.
All right, Sergeant. And thank you. I only hope that someday I can be just half as thoughtful towards you as you are towards me.
Yeah, well, the next melon, Pyle. Maybe the next one, okay?
I consider that a promise, Sergeant. Bye.
Bye.
Boy, he almost stuck you with your own gag.
Yeah. You know, I kind of hate to do it. But like I said, it's for his own good. He's not that hot a Marine that he can afford to start taking up hobbies.
Say, how much time do you give it?
Hmm? Well, he's, curious. I'd say it's a matter of minutes before he starts eating himself into a hangover.
Sergeant Carter! Sergeant Carter! I've been looking all over for you.
Pyle! Are you all right, Pyle?
I'm fine, just fine.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, I never felt better. Why, did I look bad?
Huh? Oh, well, no. It's just I thought after eating all that prize watermelon, well, you know what they say, the eyes are bigger than the stomach.
Well, that's what I wanted to tell you, Sergeant. I didn't eat it.
You didn't?
No, sir. After I left you, I got to thinking about what you said. Remember, you said right is right.
Yeah, so?
So, I got to thinking about who above all else deserved that watermelon more than anybody, even me.
Who, Pyle, who?
The one man without who I wouldn't even have a garden at all.
You didn't.
Yes, I did. I gave it to the colonel. I couldn't think of any better way to show my appreciation. What do you think, Sergeant?
Talk about a joke backfiring. What are you gonna do?
All I know is I gotta get that watermelon back from the colonel and fast.
What do you think will happen when he gets a taste out of it?
I don't even want to think about it. Can't you guess? You know the colonel. He's death on any kind of drinking.
Yeah, and a watermelon pumped full of vodka is a lot of drinking.
You want to see me, Sergeant?
Oh, yeah. Come on in, Pyle.
Hey, Corporal Boyle.
You know, Pyle, Corporal Boyle and I were just thinking.
About what?
The mistake you made giving that watermelon to the colonel.
Mistake? But that wasn't a mistake. I wanted him to have it.
I know. Nobody's knocking your motives, just your brains.
Huh?
Pyle, how could you give it to him without tasting it first? You don't even know what's inside. Suppose it's rotten. Or yellow and black inside and tastes like shoe polish. What then?
Well, it looked like a perfectly good melon from the outside.
Pyle, you don't judge a book by its cover. You don't judge a watermelon by its rind. Remember, it was awful big, and it grew awful fast. I'd worry about that.
You would?
Sure would. Might even be poisonous.
Poisonous?
Yeah, poisonous. I just hope it ain't too late to get it back.
Back?
Well, naturally. Unless, of course, you want to run the risk of having the colonel close down your garden for keeps right after he's had his stomach pumped.
All right. I'd better get that watermelon back right away.
Yeah. And the first place we better look is the officer's mess. It's probably sitting in the icebox there right now.
But, Sergeant, are you going with me?
Well, sure, pal. I don't want you to get in a jam with the colonel.
Well, that sure is thoughtful of you, Sergeant.
Yeah. All I gotta do is find a melon with a plug in it. It'll be a cinch.
Yeah, well, you better get it out of here.
Huh?
I mean, I don't want to serve the brass around here any spiked watermelons, or it'll be my head in a sling. Okay, come on over here. Okay, help yourself. Just stay out of sight, huh? I got an inspection due today.
God. Ain't that a coincidence? They must be planning on serving watermelon for dessert for the men as well tonight. What are you doing, Sergeant?
Huh? Oh, I'm looking for your watermelon. What do you think I'm doing?
Well, they all look alike.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I can't tell anything by feeling them. Oh, I know one. I'll taste them. And that way, if they all taste all right, then there's no problem.
Well, good. I'll be glad to help. I just love it.
No, pile. Remember what I said about it being poison? Well, I can spot poison faster than you can. So if you just wait outside and see that nobody interrupts me, everything will be okay, okay?
But, Sergeant,
Pile, there are taste buds and there are taste buds. Now, mine happen to be razor sharp. That's why I can't stand sea rations and you can. Now, if you'll just do as I say, we'll be in great shape, okay?
Well, yes, sir. I'll be outside if you want me. How you doing, Sergeant? Did you find my watermelon yet?
No, I didn't. And I'm not going to either. Because it's not in there.
Well, how do you know?
Huh? I just know.
Well, did you find a particular one that tasted bad?
Huh? No, they're all fine.
Well, then everything's all right.
Well,
Ah, you miserable freak!
Huh?
You cut open every one of those melons, didn't you? If I get one here, son, you too,
Where do you suppose that melon could be, Sergeant?
I don't know. I'm sure it's not in the officer's mess. Are you sure he just didn't leave it sitting there in its office? Now think.
Well, I don't know, Sergeant. I left right after I gave it to him, and all he said was thanks and how he better get it on the ice right away.
Well, he didn't get it on ice. No.
What, Sergeant?
Someplace else he could put it on ice.
Huh?
His home. His own home.
You really sure my melon's gonna turn out to be bad, huh?
No. This is just insurance. In case yours turns out to be rotten, we'll put this one in its place. Smart?
Really is.
But now the whole trick is switching the melons. You better wait out here.
Oh, yes, Sergeant. What is it?
Watermelon for Colonel Gray.
Watermelon? Another one? One's already been delivered.
Yeah? The Colonel sent this over himself?
That's right.
Were you, gonna serve it?
That's right. Mrs. Gray's having a lunch, and I was about to serve it for dessert.
Oh, well, then I'm just in time. You see, there's been a mix-up.
Mix-up?
Yes, ma'am, that's right. That one's store-bought. This is the one that was grown right here on the base by one of the Colonel's own men. You see, it seems there was a mix-up right after it was picked.
Well, all right.
Yes, ma'am. You should have seen how proud the Colonel was when he saw.
Sergeant, aren't you leaving one of those?
Huh? Oh, yeah. I just wasn't thinking.
Sergeant, you got the watermelon back.
I think so, Pyle. I think so. With a little luck.
Looks perfectly all right to me. Wouldn't it be funny if it turned out to be sweet and red and juicy as any other? What's wrong, Sergeant?
No. I picked the wrong one. The wrong one.
Well, I don't understand, Sergeant. Didn't you go in there and...
You would, Pyle. You would. You would have to stick your big fat head in the window.
I'm sorry, Sergeant. I did.
Shh. You.
Company B, Corporal Boss speaking. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. It's the Colonel. He wants to see Pyle in his office right away.
He does, huh?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Well, go tell Pyle the Colonel wants to see him in his office right away.
Just like that. You got nothing to do with it. Just throw Pyle to the wolves, huh?
Look, Boyle, don't give me that stuff. You went on the gag, too. Thought it was pretty good, as I recall.
All right, but the gag didn't work out the way you wanted.
So?
So, you gonna let him face the Colonel alone? What is he gonna say?
I'll say it again. I was doing it for his own good. It was just a way of getting him out of gardening and back to being a Marine. Look, if it had worked out the way I wanted it to, I'd... All right, all right. I'll go see the Colonel, too. Maybe I can weasel word my way out of it. My combat record and all. Gunnery Sergeant Carter and Private First Class Pyle reporting as ordered, sir.
At ease, men. I don't recall asking you to come in, Sergeant.
I know, sir, but I can explain everything.
Don't listen to him, sir. It's all on me. I'm the one to blame. Sergeant Carter didn't have nothing to do with it.
Blame? For what? What are you talking about?
For the way that my melon tasted.
Sir.
But the watermelon tasted fine. In fact, according to my wife, sensational.
Sir?
That's what I called Pyle in to tell him.
Did you hear that, Sergeant? They liked my watermelon after all.
Liked it. They loved it. Mrs. Gray said it was the hit of the bridge luncheon.
It wasn't. Do tell.
It was the first time in 7 years that a bridge luncheon ended with the girls singing.
That's that.
Yes. I heard that when Major Brady came to pick up his wife, she actually danced out to the car.
You hear that, Sergeant? You hear that? I grew as good a watermelon as anybody. Even better. How about that?
How about that? Pyle?
Yes, Sergeant. I know. Inspection in 15 minutes. I'm all prepared.
Okay, just as long as you know, Pyle. Morning, sir.
Morning. How's our prize garden doing?
Oh, fine, sir. Just fine.
Any more watermelons?
No, sir, but my cucumbers is doing real good, see?
Oh, yes.
Notice, sir, the way Private Pyle has laid a mulch blanket around the main stems cuts down on his weeding time.
Really? Peat moss?
No, sir, it was...
Leaf mold. Plain, ordinary leaf mold. Right, Pyle? Best thing in the world for nutrients. In this here sandy soil, it's the only way to fly.
You mean it doesn't choke off the feeder roots?
No, sir.
As long as you have enough irrigation.
Sergeant's right. Absolutely right, sir.
Really, Sergeant, I didn't peg you for the type to take an interest in this sort of thing.
Oh, yes, sir. Like the Colonel once said to Private Pyle here, every man should have a hobby. And, well, with a garden like this right in front of my nose, I figured, what the devil? I mean, what could be more exciting than bringing something like an artichoke into the world? Now, you take these here perennial green gloves. Excuse me, Pyle. I do these myself.